Garmlings!
Go stupid.
Go crazy!
Go stupid.
It's not a joke. People go crazy all the time. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. If you're watching this, you probably watch Counter-Strike. And if you watch Counter-Strike and use Twitter, you've probably seen former iBuyPower professional player Dazed slowly losing his mind. The first thing that I think of when I see this is another one. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, mental health in esports is no joke, man. And I mean, Counter-Strike is no exception to this. I mean, like, truly, what do you expect is going to happen when you're closed off from the world in a dark room playing Counter-Strike every single day? So today I want the main goal of this video to show that if you are an aspiring pro player, you need to use this video as a lesson. Your mental health cannot take a back seat. It needs to be a priority. Anyways, I'll yap more about that at the end of the video, okay? First, I gotta show you examples of why you fuckers need to lock in. Armlings, do you see that over there? Bro, what is that? It's been staring at me for hours. Ah! Oh, no worries. It's just that new knife that I bought from today's sponsor, Skins Monkey. Skins Monkey is an instant trading site with an incredibly large selection of skins, low commission, and an easy search filter system. Buying or trading your skins has never been easier. And if you use my link today, you can get up to $5 completely free. They also have daily, weekly, and monthly giveaways on their freebies tab, along with a 35% deposit bonus if you use code Garmour. If you want to check out Skins Monkey, scan the QR code or hit the link below. Thank you to them for sponsoring, and back to the video. Dazed is a former professional Counter-Strike player from the United States. He was born on September 27th, 1989, and played his first Wikipedia-listed tournament in 2009. His game of choice was not 1.6, but instead Counter-Strike Source. He actually had fairly good success in this game, never finishing below 4th place in every single tournament he attended. He then switched to CSGO towards the end of 2012, and in this game he would end up having great success, playing in the Esports World Cup and placing 3rd with Team Area 51. That included quite a few notable names that you may have heard of. Here he dropped a 1.31 rating, easily being the best player on the team, and then eventually he'd go on to sign for iBuyPower in late 2013. Then of course the iBuyPower throw would happen in August of 2014, and after getting banned in January of 2015, the Counter-Strike career of Dazed was over. He then became a full-time streamer and content creator, and from what I have found, which is nothing concrete of course, it seems like he did make a good amount of money from investing in crypto, especially Bitcoin, and was pretty financially set for the future, despite his Counter-Strike career now being over. He also tried professional Valorant for about 10 seconds like every other single washed North American Counter-Strike pro, and well, that didn't really work out, and all of that leads us to today. If you go back on Dazed's Twitter timeline, in 2024, most of the time, Dazed posted on Twitter just about random stuff. He screamed into the void about NBA, gym, you know, whatever, video games, whatever he was just doing at the time. But then he would go on to post a gym progress video, which in itself isn't anything super weird. Sure, it was a little different from what he normally posted, but what we didn't know at the time is this first balcony video would be the start of many balcony videos. And along with this being his first video on a balcony, it would also perform much better than all of his other posts did. So after going back to his normal tweets for a little bit, he would then start posting more selfies and videos of himself. All fine, but he was really starting to get into this arc of just posting, you know, pictures and videos of him doing whatever, because it seemed like he really liked the feedback he was getting, which fine, like I don't care. It just was a very different turn from his normal yap shit posts. And maybe he just wanted to chase the dopamine of those sweet, sweet Twitter likes. All of this would lead us into 2025, where we would fully begin to completely stray from his normal shitpost NBA gym type tweets. As on January 11th, he would tweet, "Hopefully Newsome and his army of transsexual lesbian firefighters can save us." Now this would of course get as of this moment, a whopping 144 likes. And well, when compared to his normal 10, 11, 12 like Twitter posts, he seemingly decided, okay, let's post more stuff like this. So he would then post a mirror selfie with the caption, "Some endure eons engulfed in darkness. praying for a glimpse of life. Profound stuff there, buddy. And then one day later, he'd go on to post, free speech maximalism on a platform such as Twitter is 100% necessary to establish a bedrock of perpetual free speech. It's rather enlightening, seeing the true nature of free expression across society. Entertaining as hell too. Unfortunately, this would only get a total of 24 likes. And while we were really seeing a large vibe shift on the day's Twitter page at this point, because we have gone from him tweeting about Draymond Green, what are you doing, which in my mind that's a valid tweet, and workout bands are great, to some endure eons of darkness and free speech maximalism. Why? How do we get here? Maybe it's nothing. Maybe Buddy is just a thinker now. A few months would pass and not much happened. He actually would go back to tweeting about the NBA, and then we'd get another mirror selfie with a caption in Russian that says hello, and then after this he would post a video of him dancing. This post would actually perform very well, getting 840 likes. And listen, bro, honestly, if you want to start dancing, sure, that's good for you. It can be a new hobby. That's great. But we'd also get this. Not really sure what the fuck is going on here. Then the next video he would post would be this. I don't fuck with that camera angle, brother. Get your cock out of my face. Anyways, this video would be enough to get the attention of his old friend Mo, who would comment and ratio the tweet saying, bro, what is going on? Call me. And then he would get responded to with a video and the caption saying, relax, big beef. It's not just Mo that's concerned at this point. There's a lot of people that are in the comments concerned about him because his Twitter page is just kind of slowly descending and getting a little weirder and weirder by the day. Anyways, to continue on the timeline, we get a singing video next. And well, this is just kind of where the floodgates open. We are now getting these random ass videos and photos every single day. 36-year-old man, by the way. We're pushing 40 here. This continues for a while until we get another balcony video where he looks disheveled and is talking about semen.
As I was saying,
since I'm not getting the help that I believe I deserve, unbelievable. I will start by sending the one droplet of the perfect, most amazing genetic code
that could ever exist.
My semen starting bid will be 900 quintillion bitcoins.
We got a card on the table, should probably blur that one out. Bong in the background, some pills, some cigarettes. If you were surface level worried about him, well, now certainly you're gonna be like, okay, what is happening to you? What are you doing, man? Sick, who is a former CS and Valorant player who also had a mental health crisis himself, then commented on the video, dazed, what is going on? I'm having flashbacks. Then in this video, we get even more in the background, and this. And this. I mean, like, there are so many videos I could show you guys. I just can't do them all, okay? We gotta keep her moving.
Latinas, beautiful mamacitas, senoritas, okay? I need you, all right? I know you are the most beautiful, the most loving, and the most affectionate.
And I need all of that. And
This will be the bedroom seduction series.
This is what people talk about when they say that someone is schizo posting. This is like genuine schizo posting. And we get more into the schizo posting. It gets even more schizo as we go on. He then posts a real thinker tweet. Bound by the collapsing walls of my psyche, the borders cave in. The stinging woes of madness start to begin. A frantic pace roams when these twisted worlds collide. My cries of despair drowned in ego and pride. That one, honestly, I can't even hate. That shit was kind of fire. He then starts yapping about supercomputers, and eventually we get to a point where he now has a god complex. The schizo posting would continue until we get here, which looks like a goodbye tweet, and this is where people start really freaking the fuck out, and rightfully so. This is actually getting scary at this point. Thankfully, nothing would come out of this, and he would go straight back to the god complex. Then following a lot of schizo posting later, and we are now on to his next arc. Looking at this tweet, I think we can all see where this one is going. But before we get down the grifter arc, he then posts a selfie and says, aura. And his old friend Mo responds in a joking manner, nice shirt, does it come in men's? And then Dazed would quote tweet him and get the ratio of the fucking century. We really given this unhinged motherfucker 53,000 likes on a post. This is gonna just completely ruin everything, man. The dopamine he was getting from the selfie likes, oh my god, I can only imagine what he got from this. He then continued to try and milk this with, I'm not joking, literally like 10 more posts. And he even tries to get someone else who got caught in the crossfire with another massive quote tweet ratio, but it doesn't really work out. And so at this point, he decides his way forward would be to bully. And some fucking how, by the grace of God, it worked again. 94,000 likes on this shit. Are you kidding me, bro? Of course, he would try to milk this one as well, as he would keep tweeting about streamers and quote tweeting streamers, and would break it all up by trying to Charizler Pokimane. Maybe he hasn't officially lost it. I respect the move. It was a generational attempt, okay? Anyways, as of today, the last few things he's posted have been some uncomfortable pictures, and well, that pretty much concludes the Dazed losing his fucking mind arc. While we don't know exactly what Dazed abused to get to that point, because I'm gonna be honest right now, fellas, the bong in the background was not doing that to him. We do know what happened with the next guy on the list in Pronax. Pronax was the goated IGL during the prime days of Fnatic, and is one of the select few people on Earth to have won 3 majors. After his Fnatic success, he'd also go on to create Godsend in 2016, and eventually retire in 2019. And while it seemed like things in his retirement life were going pretty well, but then in 2020, he'd start to post some unnerving tweets. Now, as of today, all of this stuff has been deleted, but we can use old Reddit posts to kind of see what he was saying. He'd post, I need help in Malmo. People from my own company is lying about me and I'm forced into mental hospital again. Help, please. Then on some of the follow-ups, I need help in Malmo. My own colleagues have invented lies about me and I need lawyer help. I need help at a psychiatric emergency Malmo. If there is a kind soul out there, I have told people that I should go to the police. The idea was to do the 25th when I go to whatever that is. Their answer is to try and force me into the psyche. MVH worried Marcus. Need a lawyer's help. Just the same thing happened 1 year ago. And this only happens because my own colleagues / family know I was going to go to the police and make a report. Some very, very scary stuff is being posted here because we're like unaware of what's happening at this point. Is Pronax losing his mind, or is his company and family actually after him for some reason? Shortly after this, he was then removed from Godsend, and that's when rumors of Pronax having schizophrenia and paranoia began to surface. Everything went quiet for a few years, and then in 2024, a streamer dropped a bunch of screenshots and videos of 5 years of Pronax nonstop harassing her. It included things like obsessive texting calls, spams from alt and hidden numbers, him showing up to her door completely uninvited, and contacting her family, ex-teammates, and friends. And along with all of this, the tweet would also say that Pronax's mom confirmed schizophrenia does run in the family. So at this point, it is not looking good for him. It looks like he is kind of having a mental breakdown. He then created all Twitter accounts that have also been deleted, where he would apparently lose it every other day, saying things like everyone from his past was gang stalking him. Overall, just a very, very sad story of the mental decline of one of Counter-Strike's greatest ever in-game leaders. Now, these last 2 players are going to be fairly quick because one, there isn't a ton to talk about, and the other one I have talked about before, but we'll start with Troubly. Troubly is a retired professional Counter-Strike player from Germany. He was born on August 4th, 1992, and played his first Liquipedia tournament around 2009. He then rose within the German scene fairly quickly, eventually joining Mouse in 2012, and performing fairly well with the team, winning quite a few tournaments in late 2013. He also individually looked like an incredibly talented player, as in 2012 he would drop a 1.26 rating, in 2013 a 1.14 rating, in 2014 a 1.13 rating, but then a sudden fall off in 2015 where he would only drop a 0.91. After signing for Penta in 2015, he would be released after only 3 weeks, with the reason being different game opinion / toxicity, and he would then quit Counter-Strike later that year, citing that he had personal problems / no motivation. This was a sad and sudden retirement for a player who was very good within the German scene, and well, that's kind of the last we would hear of him, at least for a while. But then 2 years later, in 2017, he would get outed for harassing ex-teammate Tizian. Apparently, he would show up to Tizian's house at 2 a.m. and called his parents and confessed that he loved him. He then would vanish again, and then in 2019, there would be a Danish newspaper reporting that a 26-year-old homeless Counter-Strike star was harassing and attacking people in the streets. And Mither would also confirm that he is mentally unstable and banned from their LAN facilities because he tried to use their computers. And well, at least from what I could find, that's kind of the last that we have heard of Troubly. The last case I'll talk about is Obo, and I won't go super in depth because I feel like his case has been talked about in length. At the age of 14, Obo would join FPL and immediately start frying everyone. It was kind of looking like he was a North American prodigy. And well, this was enough to get the attention of Complexity, who signed him to the roster in 2019. 2019. This team then competed at the Berlin Major, where Obo then became the youngest player to ever play at a Counter-Strike Major at only 16. Eventually, Complexity would become the juggernaut and signed 2 Danes and a Bulgarian Opera along with fellow American Rush. With the team being a majority EU now, they need to move to Europe for boot camps, and this is kind of where the issue started. The mix of COVID hitting along with him being away from his family and in a place that he had never been before, Obo would begin to get homesick incredibly quickly, and it eventually got to the point where he stepped down from Complexity and went back to North America. He then signed to Evil Geniuses in 2021, but that didn't last super long and he would eventually be benched. He would still tweet and stream somewhat consistently, but then eventually that would begin to fade, and then in 2022, we would get some incredibly concerning tweets. Obo looked like a mess, like he hadn't showered in days, along with him having a ripped apart dog toy that said, "All great things must come to an end, time to throw me away." This was very scary, and a lot of people began to reach out to him and reach out to his family, and while they would get in touch, and eventually it seemed like Obo got the help that he needed. The leading theory is that he was abusing Adderall to kind of cope with the pressure of him being in a slump, and the mix between the drug abuse and isolation kind of mixed together to make a soup that resulted in this scary Twitter post we got. As of today, he still plays face-up matches somewhat regularly and seems to be doing better. So guys, kind of a not fun video today, okay? Mental health is a serious issue, and like I said at the start, you guys have to take care of it. If you do want to pursue becoming a professional player, make sure your life still has balance. You don't gotta play Counter-Strike locked away in a dark room for 14 hours a day. You can still speak to your family and friends. You can still go out and do things. You can go to the gym and eat well. Just take care of your mental health however you can, and just learn from the people we talked about today. Anyways, that's it for me, fellas. Liking the video if you liked, subscribing if you want to subscribe, and notificationings if you want to be notified. Yeah, that's it for me. I'll see you fellas later.